Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joy Lingerie. You're on Matured Musicians with Joel Astley. Hi, Joel. In a minute, we'll get to Joel, but I got to make an announcement because all my YouTube listeners are gone. I cannot get onto YouTube. I had an update last night, and I'm just lucky I even got Joel on here. So we're having some fun issues today. So I will repost to this interview to YouTube, but it will not be live. So you'll have to transfer over to Country Hot, my Facebook page, Country Hot Music, and that is where it is now showing from, and the only place it's showing from. So with that being said, my sponsor is Luscious Moss Studio, owned and operated by Chad Christ. And he has a very creative and collaborative environment in his studio. I get my music produced there. Lately, I've been showing some videos that I'm having created for the songs with the words, so that I can show these to leads who might be able to play them. At any rate, with that being said, if you have any needs at all, you can contact Chad Quest on Facebook. I'm pretty sure you can find him offline as well by going to Luscious Moss Studio. You'll see the spelling here. And if you have any questions or any needs, do contact them. So with that being said, hello, Joel. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, I've lost. Okay, great. I thought there meant I lost sound. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm getting some
let me,
glitching on my end too. You're kind of freezing up.
lovely. Well, it's one of those kinds of days. We had quite a windstorm out there, so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised that there's some issues today. So let's hear a little bit. I know the very first time I'm trying to get back on Navy Island. It's such a. I'm trying to get myself adjusted here. Anyway, I think it's called EB or Ebby. What is it? What's her
EB.
EB?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And the very first time I ever went there, a guy named Donald Malad- Malador or something.
Malador.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know him. Invited me out there, and I came out there with myself and my guitar, nobody to play with, no band, and there was nobody there. I mean, there was just a few bands and people mulling around. I would say a couple dozen, and there was no big parking lot and traffic and big bands on stage. It was kind of a little, just a little get together for everybody that did go. And on my way out, I ran into Joel. I waved him. He waved back. And I thought, oh, yeah, I can see it written all over this guy. He's a good one to go. I just knew you would be. And you are. And I understand that you have. Oh, and by the way, I still can't. Now I can't get back in. I've gotten a hold of a guy named Dano McMillan, I believe his name
Oh,
is. And
uh-huh.
I've heard nothing from him. So I don't know. At any rate, I was hoping to have uh, Lynn Sorensen playing bass for me. And I don't know if you know him, Drew Schneider. He's with a band called Rebel Canyon. But at any rate, this is about you, not about me. Shut up. I want to hear everything. I know that you got some awards from the Washington Blues Society, I believe. And I also saw that you had some interconnection with a greater organization. Was it international or was it national? Or I thought the blues
Um,
was. So you need to explain that to me. I don't know.
sure. Well, I can back up a little bit, just kind of let you know what's been going on with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am here in Seattle. That's where I live. And I've been playing locally for about 10 years. I've had various bands, various iterations of, my vision. Right now, I have a band called Joel Astley. We are a four-piece. I'm finally naming it after myself after, just being in different bands over the years. This is kind of something that's a little bit more personal. I'm focusing on my songs and my sound. And I've
Yes.
got this great lineup right now. I have Joseph Barton on guitar, Don Montana on drums, and Tracy Wilkinson on bass. And the four of us are doing everything we can to just get out there and get our music in front of people. This last weekend, we were at the Paulsbo Blues and Jazz Festival.
Oh,
Um, we are booked for a few different festivals so far, just a few festivals this year, going, I guess, as far, well, just all over Washington for the most part. And then we're doing some touring this coming month in March. March and April will be in Oregon and California. I think the international thing that you were talking about was the International Blues Challenge.
that's it.
And that was something that we did last month, and that takes place in Memphis every year. And it is basically it's a music band competition. So there's
Oh,
two categories, band and solo duo. And you can get into this competition by competing locally, which we did, and we won the regional competition. And we were we did some fundraising with the Washington Blues Society and the South Sound Blues Association, and we got out there and did our thing in Memphis, and it was really cool. I also got to do some networking out there, met some amazing musicians from all over the world. We made friends with a band from Germany. We made
yeah.
friends with people from all over the world. So it was really cool.
Amazing. That's just amazing, Joel. I'll bet. What does it feel like to do things like that? I mean, it has to be the most rewarding thing.
It's been kind of funny, it's been a very gradual process, kind of growing this thing from a hobby, a passion, to a hobby, to something that's actually really turning into something of its own. Like, it takes on a life of its own after a while.
Right.
And then I just kind of do what seems to be the next indicated step, as they say. And I just try to keep my feet on the path and try to pay attention to what's going on around me, and just try to make the best of it.
Yeah. But I guess what I was really asking is personally, how exciting is it? I mean,
It's
I've
a
never
thrill.
experienced it's
It's
what?
totally thrilling. It's totally thrilling. It's very exciting because as a musician, you understand how personal your art is to you, and to be able to share it with the world, and to just be able to get it out there and give it some dimension, give it some life. There's nothing more thrilling.
Well, I'm just starting to process some of my music. I still have never really found a lead. Seems like all the people that maybe could do it, and they have to walk kind of to some extent in Chad Chris' footsteps, because he produced it, and you may know what kind of guitarist he is. He does Heart by Heart band
Oh,
lead, and he is very, very good. So it takes a little bit to do his music that he's put on my recordings. I mean, obviously he does a lot of the guitar work. So, and
cool.
I can't even imagine having a large crowd, or even someplace in Nashville, listen to my personal songs that I'm just now putting out there in video. So,
Yeah, it's pretty
quite an
exciting.
accomplishment. Yes, very.
Yeah.
I when I saw your name and I saw these things come up, I thought, oh my gosh, Joel, you're great. You're just great. I knew that from the first time I saw you. You just had that winner look. So
Thanks.
going from there, other than um, doing the contest to get to Nashville, and uh, gig that you're doing there, what other things were you doing? You said you were doing a fundraiser, but was there anything else that you were engaging with during that time? And did you have all your band members together at that time?
Yeah, yeah. I've had this same lineup for a while now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the International Blues Challenge, there are some rules, like when you win the regional competition and you sign up to go to the international one, that is the time that you need to sign up the members of your band. So I think it's set up that way to keep people from stacking their band with celebrity names, famous musicians, and just walking away with the competition. I think the competition is really kind of set up to provide an avenue of access for musicians that don't otherwise have a good way to get exposure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So it's
like
really
that.
that way.
Yeah, I like that. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And when people hear Nashville, a lot of times, like even me, I do it too. I think country music, but it's so much more, right?
Well,
It's
the International Blues Challenge was in Memphis, which is about 3 hours
oh,
outside of Nashville.
okay, so it's in
And it's a
Nashville.
very much a
I
different
stand
scene.
corrected.
Yeah. Nashville. I was actually in Nashville last year for an award show. I was nominated for some awards, and so I flew out there to check out the ceremony, and it was really fun. I didn't win any of the awards, but it was really cool. It's a good experience. I got to
Yeah,
see the Grand Ole Opry, and yeah.
yeah, cool. I would have been love to have been in your shoes actually, but not that way for me. Anyway, um, you not only play the harmonica and sing, but have you picked up any other instrument along the way? Or and I
No,
saw a chord on your harmonica. So you have an electric harmonica now?
no. The cord is going to a microphone that
Oh,
I hold, and then I just kind of hold the microphone and the harmonica together.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned from a few harmonica players that when I go to jams that Billy Shoe has, I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah.
His
I've
players
done
too.
some shows with him.
Yeah. Um, One thing I learned is that you actually do have to grab the harmonica in that plays that key that the singer is singer that
Uh-huh.
you're singing. Is that correct?
Yeah. So when I go to a jam or when I have a show or whatever, I have to be prepared for all of the different all the different songs that I might play. So I keep all 12 keys with me. And when I'm doing shows, usually I have some backups in case I get a reed that goes flat or something like that happens. So sometimes the harmonica gets a little piece of, debris in one of the reeds, and then
I don't know. It has
um,
reeds in it too. I didn't know that either. As a kid, we were given one year for Christmas in our stockings. We were given harmonicas,
yeah.
and I really didn't pay much attention to it. But I would imagine from those days until now, there's a big difference, especially the fact that they're now making them electronic, right?
I don't know about electronic
Okay,
harmonicas.
all right, all right. It's kind of something new on the scene. Another thing to go wrong electronically.
Yeah, I have just the diatonic harmonicas. I'm actually sponsored by Lee Oscar Harmonicas, so I'll give a shout out to Lee and his
Yeah, where are
crew.
they? Where are they at? Here in
They're
Minnesota.
actually located in this area, the Pacific Northwest, and but they're a worldwide company.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, so.
How in the world does a harmonica player sing? I mean, I've seen this like holder that they have, this metal holder that you put on,
Mhm.
and so you could play the harmonica.
Oh, the
And
rack. Yeah, that's
yeah,
for guitar players or somebody who's playing
okay,
another instrument with their hands, like maybe a
okay.
keyboard or guitar.
So your style is basically just to hold it with the mic and the harmonica at the same time,
Yeah.
so you can just emphasize where you want. Is this all pre-planned when you write the music to it?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll write a song and I'll think, okay, well, there's some songs where I have harmonica parts kind of already in my head when I'm putting the song
Sure.
together. And then there's other songs where I don't have any harmonica.
And do
So
you
it's
still
all
play
different.
it then, or you don't play it at all? You just
Well,
sing?
there's songs that I've written that don't have harmonica parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know enough of your music. I need to get out there and get in.
Yeah.
You're on YouTube, right? You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, and that seems like a good time to mention my album. I released
Yes.
a record last year. I released it digitally and on CD. It's called Seattle to Greaseland, and
Greaseland?
Greaseland,
Yeah, what is that?
Greaseland is in California, San Jose.
Okay.
It's a recording studio run by Kid Anderson, who is, by all accounts, a genius. He's a
Wow.
wonderful guitar player, bass player, uh, keyboard player, producer, engineer. He wears many hats, and he's just a bigger than life character. And I decided I wanted him to produce it, so I set out for San Jose in 2022, got it recorded, and released it in 2023. And
Is that your first one?
this is
Is
my
that your
debut. That is
Yeah.
my debut album, and it was very well received. I got great reviews from all over the world. It's still number one on the Roots charts in Washington State after, I don't know, 20 months.
Wow.
It dropped down into number two or three for a couple of weeks here and there, but it's back in number one right now.
And what's it called?
The Roots Music Report.
Roots Music Report. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm
So
curious. Now I wish we had that board up so that we could have heard that one. Darn. Can you play it?
yeah,
Or
you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Bandcamp. If you Google my name, you'll find it everywhere.
okay.
It's on Apple
Good.
Music. It's yeah. And if you want to see live versions, we have a bunch of live versions on my YouTube channel.
Under video.
Yeah, lots of video. There's
Yeah.
lots of video out there. Yeah.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't do
Sorry, we
nothing
couldn't
with
figure
Joel. I'm
that
gonna
part
have
out.
to. Sorry. I'm
Oh, I was
sorry.
just saying, sorry, I couldn't figure out
Yeah,
the format to get it on the show today.
that's okay. That's absolutely okay. We'll get it another time. And I do go on YouTube all the time, so I will. I don't know that I friended you, but make a deal if you friend me. I'm what is it? What does they call?
You got it. Follow.
Yeah. I'll follow you if you follow me. Yeah. Okay. So that's quite a. I just I used to watch to let the audience know a lot about what was going on here. I used to watch Joel's program. He had a podcast too, podcast during COVID, and
Yeah.
he is a. If anybody is watching this later, he's an artist as well, and I've absolutely enjoyed your art. It's just
That's
they're
fun.
so
Good.
creative, amazingly creative. And are you still doing that, Joel?
I am not still doing the show. That was a lot of fun, but um when the gigs came back, I kind of let the show go. It
Yeah.
was every Sunday afternoon or evening
Yeah.
at 6 o'clock. I would go live at 6 o'clock every Sunday night, and I would not have a script. I would just wing it. And the only thing that I had planned was the music, and I would play an album
Yes.
in the background
I remember
by
that.
yeah, and it was always somebody that I knew. And I did the show for over a year, so
Yeah.
that's 50 plus artists,
Yeah. I
and it
started
was
this.
everything from mostly blues because those are the most of the people that I know that are musicians are blues musicians. But there were also some. I played some jazz records. I played some rock. Um, yeah, I thought it was a really good way to give exposure to
Yes.
somebody else while I was doing this thing. It was just kind of
That's
another way to, you know, get get somebody else some new fans. Plus, it was a nice distraction because I kind of felt like it was a little too quiet when I
yeah.
was doing the
Yeah.
show just by myself.
Uh, exactly. No audience feedback other than what was coming across on your messaging.
um, in the chat. Yeah, the chat was always really fun. It
Yeah.
was really great because there were usually anywhere from 25 to 50 people watching. So it was a very small group, but I would also share it to lots of Facebook groups. And so, by the end of the week, there would usually be about 2,000 views on the video. So
Wow.
people were watching it. But I think that the live experience was just, it was just priceless.
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
I had a couple of people reach out to me later saying, "You really got me through some hard
Yeah.
times," which
Yes.
is like I get chills just thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
And a couple of people even told me that I got them painting again,
You got them what?
painting again.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
that was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. I've dabbled in that, and my husband's the artist. His father was an artist, but from France, no less. But you know, music seems to take up a lot of my time. Oh,
Yeah, that was the other thing. I
mhm.
didn't have enough time
Yeah,
to do both.
yeah, exactly. It takes a lot to write, record,
Yep.
practice, gig. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I do have some more recording coming up this year. I didn't
All
do any
right.
recording last year. I did a couple of sessions for other people. I've been on a couple of records, playing harmonica.
Yeah.
But this coming year, I'm planning to do some more recording. And Lee Oscar has offered to produce it. So I'm really excited about
Who is
that.
the Oscar? I'm not familiar
So
with him.
Lee Oscar is the owner of Lee Oscar Harmonicas, and that's the brand that
Yeah,
sponsors me.
that's what you were talking about. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
got
And he's
wow.
also one of the founding members of the band War. And he has an amazing solo career. So he's released a number of albums since the War days, all the way up until last year, which he did. She said Mahalo last year, and then before the year before that, maybe or so, he did another one called Never Forget, and it's just a very very distinct sound, very distinct style. And he's also a producer, and he's worked with Kenny Neal and lots of other artists around the country, around the world. And he just played me some stuff that he recorded in Japan with some folks. And so I'm really excited to work with him because he's got a really great musical sense, and he believes in what I'm doing musically, which is very encouraging.
I guess that would do it for me. Yeah, my listenership went down. I ended up taking about a month off. I've been at this for 4 years, and I took some time off because this this Streamyard charged me $882 for the year. Prior to that, it was 360, and I had a hard time coming up with the funds to pay it off of my account. So I had to borrow it from my husband. But I did get it up and running, and I'm not getting the viewership that I had before. A lot of people are watching it after because most of us,
Mm.
a lot of people have to work, so they can't be around it. But there are musicians that occasionally tune in, and now with this glitch with YouTube, it's not helping any. So you may be close to the last interviewee that I have. I am
Oh,
seriously considering taking it down at this point, but we'll see. Um, there are other people that have said that they were going to start doing something similar to this, and if they do, that'll be the last incentive for me to just sort of quietly bow out.
oh,
And I'm glad that I did get you back at least one more time before that happens.
okay.
Uh, so anyway, I understand that you made a slight mention, which is kind of a segue into what I wanted to discuss about COVID. What you were doing that podcast and keeping us all from going insane. But what were you thinking at that time? Did you have any thoughts about that whole situation?
I do. Yeah. I was really just missing people, and I was missing the connection. The whole reason I play live is for that connection.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'd just be a studio musician.
correct.
But I love performing live. I love, having the feedback, the room, talking to people after the show, before the show. It's just, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
And when our way of life was disrupted um, by the shutdown, um, I didn't know what to do. And so I started seeing my friends going live on Facebook. And I was
Mm.
going, oh, okay. I'd never done any streaming or anything like that. So I just did this funny little like thing one day where I was just out on my porch and I just started going live. I was, hey everybody, I miss you. I just wanted to let everybody know, we're all still in this together, and then I saw the little number in the corner kind of going up. I was like, okay, there's people here. We're connecting. There's people connecting right now, right here. And so I just hung on to it. And then I started seeing some comments come in. And so I just said, all right, well, I guess I'll leave the camera going. And then at the time I was doing some artwork. And so I just said,
Yes.
hey, who wants to come see the studio? So I just walked downstairs, went into my basement studio, and just kind of like gave a little tour. I flipped. I was doing all this on my phone, and I flipped the
Yes.
camera. And I said, "All right, this is where I'm doing my,"
Oh my
and
gosh.
then I just felt like, well, maybe there's something else I can do. So, oh, you guys want to see me draw something? And so I just like started drawing a picture, and I just held the camera so that it was like, picking up what I was doing, and then I said, all right, well, I guess I'll sign off, and I ended the stream, and a couple of the people that were in the chat were like, you need to do that again. That was really fun, and we
Yes.
all really liked it, and so all right, I'll do it again. So I actually announced I made a post on Facebook that I was going to do it again, and that it was going to be at 6 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I did it again. And then while I was doing it, I was, like I said before, I thought it was a little quiet, and so I just threw an album on. I don't remember what I played first, but I just put a record on and started drawing, and I think I got into the watercolors that day, and that was it. That was the first one and the very next week I did it again, and I was off to the races.
Yeah. Wow. That's just amazing. I know the one thing that I would tune in for was the calm. I don't know how to explain it, but watching you paint and watching you, present the music of the different people that you were presenting each time, was just very relaxing. To me, it was where all my worries and frustrations kind of just melted away. Don't know why. It just
That makes me so happy.
Oh, good. That's the way it was. And then I like kind of lost contact. I know I did an interview. I didn't look it up to see how long ago, but I'm guessing it's got to be at least a year, if not more. I've been doing
Oh,
this 4 years, by the
it might
way.
have been 2. It could have been 2 years, I think.
Yeah. And I just keep watching on Facebook as you were doing all these things, and I was thinking, oh my God, Joel, go, 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 go do it, go show them all.
Thanks.
So I'm really proud. I'm really proud of what you've
Thank you.
accomplished, and I had been going up to Marysville to oh gosh, I always get it wrong. Mirkwood, I think.
Oh yeah,
Chris Hager had
Mirkwood. That's in Arlington. Is that the
that's it. Yeah.
They have a jam.
Yeah.
There was a jam on Wednesday
Chris.
nights
Yeah.
there
Chris
for a
Hager.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris
Right.
and
And
Richard
do you know
Richard
where?
Williams.
Yeah. Yes. absolutely. Do you know Bear? A guy named Bear?
Yeah.
Can't think of his last name, but he said one night that they were thinking that what I should do is start interviewing people from the Blues Society.
Mm.
And they were going to contact me and get a hold of us
Oh,
and whatever, but that never went through. That never happened. And I tried to get as many blues people as I could find, but it just never it came to fruition. I really wish it had, but I love the blues and I listen to it. And Billy Shu is very blues based, and he's gotten me up there to play stuff I've never even heard, much less just to torture me.
that's a great way to do it.
Yeah,
That's how I cut my teeth.
yeah,
Just playing stuff I didn't know.
no, yeah. So
It's good
at any rate, it was
calisthenics.
fun. What was that?
Good calisthenics.
Yes, calisthenics. Oh, absolute brain calisthenics.
Yep.
But he doesn't do that anymore. I went to his jam last Wednesday. I'll probably be going this Wednesday too. I do have
Who's
somebody
that?
online here. Now, this is James Crawford Tama, and it's kind of interesting
Yeah.
story. He's kind of creating all these really fascinating videos on his system and putting his music out there. He used to play it live over at Duval, but they took that down for a talent show. And he said, "Hi everyone, it's James here." So hi James.
Hey.
And he said he loves the blues. So I'm glad you kind of came on board. James is a friend and he's a supporter. So I couldn't.
So we are live.
Oh yeah, we're live. We're
Oh, okay.
definitely live. We're live on, but we're live on Facebook. My country hot music channel. That's the name of my band.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so it's my business page, and it's the only thing that StreamYard will still go through, other than YouTube. And obviously, James, I've
Oh,
lost
that's what's
connection.
going
Yeah,
on.
I lost my connection to YouTube. I had an update, and I have no clue. It took me about 3 hours because I was right in the middle of getting at some files that I had to have, and everything went down. The electricity went out. I lost stuff. And then all my passwords and nothing worked. Oh, it's like crazy. And then I tried again today thinking it was up. Everything was fine. It was working last night. And then boom, nothing. That's where we're at. Anyway, Joel's time. We were talking about how he was online, and that's where I first met him. And that's not where I first met him at Evie, but the first time I ever really talked to him was in chat on his online program, and things just progressed from there.
Yeah, that was a really special time. I ended up getting close with several people through that show.
I'll bet you did. There's something about it. Doesn't matter whether it's face to face in a gig, online. No matter when you reach out and people reach back, it becomes personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. So moving on from that, you were going to perform for us. We had hoped we did video of some of the stuff that he's been doing, but that didn't happen. It will hopefully, if I keep doing this, we'll see what happens. But anyway, what are you going to do for us today, Joel?
Well, I hadn't thought about that. I believe I've got a harmonica right here.
Of course, it's the one thing a harmonica player would have.
Oh, let's see. What do I have here? I got a few of them. Some of them are no good. That one's not too bad. Yeah.
So I'm gonna disappear on you. I can hear you, see you. You just can't see me. And the floor is all yours.
Okay.
If I can figure out where my cursor is. All right.
So, okay. Hey, everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the most recent brand new song. It's called Love Proof. And I've never played it all by myself before. I've only played it with the band live about 3 times. So, yeah, here we go. Life's rough, but we all get through. Let me tell you about a girl I knew. Was she scorned? Was she scarred? Don't know what happened, but she turned out hard. She was love proof. There's a love proof. The night I met her down at the club, she was giving everyone the snub. I said, hey, can I buy you a drink? She looked at me and said, boy, what do you think? But she was love proof. Yeah, love proof. Yeah, love proof. That heart was cold and small, or maybe it no heart at all. All out of money, all out of hope. Oh, I was at the end of my rope. I try to move on, 'cause that's what you do. But that's when I found out that I was love proof too. Yeah. I tried every trick I know. I played it fast and I played it slow. But all that razor wire around her heart, I knew early on I'd be torn apart. Yeah. Yeah, she was love proof. Love proof. I took her out on the fine part of town. I tried everything to wear her down. But she said, boy, you got no chance. She said, I got no use for romance. She was love proof. Yeah, love proof. She was love proof. That heart was cold and small. Or maybe it no heart at all. Oh, maybe no heart at all. Or maybe no heart at all.
I loved it. Boy, I followed that story. Got any more?
Yeah, love proof.
Absolutely. I can see why. She probably was hurt one too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's awfully hard to get through to people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything more? I love
It can
that.
be contagious.
Yeah, yeah. Can you do it? Get another one?
Sure.
I got a feeling that song's going to go somewhere.
That'd be
Is that on your
nice.
album, your new album?
Well, it will be.
Okay. I'll look
Yeah,
for
like
it.
I said, it's just that one's brand new, so it's never been
Oh,
recorded.
it's not great. It's a winner.
Oh, thank you.
At least to me. I don't know about anybody else, but to me. All right.
All right. Okay, so in honor of the live stream that Joy was just talking about, I'm going to go ahead and play the song that I used to close the show with. It's called No Brighter Gold. No brighter gold in this world. No brighter gold in this world. When you find love, where the sun will shine. No brighter gold you'll ever find. Yes, I have searched the hills and valleys. Yes, I searched hills and valleys. Believe me, I search high and low. You'll never find no brighter gold. Yes, I have searched the hills and valleys. Yes, I have searched hills and valleys. Believe me, I've searched high and low. You'll never find no brighter gold. Now, when you find love, you start to sing. Yes, when you find love, you start to sing. With only love can fill your soul. You'll never find no brighter gold. No brighter gold, and no brighter gold, 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 no brighter gold. Ooh.
Yes, absolutely. I remember that song. Absolutely. Yes, that is how we ended it. It's the truth.
Every time. Yeah, every week. It just kind of turned into a tradition. That
Did
was
you
the
ever
other piece
record
of
it?
the show. What's that?
Did you ever record it?
Yes, it is on my album.
Absolutely.
It is on,
wonderful.
it's the last track on Seattle to Greaseland.
All right. So are you making this a CD or are you putting this all online?
You mean my
It-
next?
No, there's two ways to go: CDs and putting things online, or both.
Yeah.
And
Yes. Both.
yeah, CDs are expensive, and people seem to like what's online. So, are you
Yeah.
making actual hard copies?
So
Of your album?
if you're talking about my debut album
Yes.
from
Yes.
2023, yeah, that one was released digitally and on CD.
Oh, okay. Now, is that your first one, and you're making a second
Yes,
one?
that's
Okay,
my
I'm like,
debut. Yeah.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Got it, Joel. I'm sorry, a little dance, I guess. when you get old, first thing to go.
Yeah,
Well,
so that song is on the album that I released.
all right.
And then the other song, Love Proof, has not been released.
Okay. Love
Yeah.
proof.
Love Proof.
That's where that song came from. You named your album after the one you performed, right?
No, the
No.
album's called Seattle to Greaseland.
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I'm writing this down. What was your first album called again?
Seattle to Greaseland. That is my debut, my only album.
Okay, and that's your only album to date. Are you? And you say you're working on another one?
And I am going to begin recording here in just a couple of months.
Okay.
And that's the one that that Lee Oscar is probably going to be producing.
Okay.
We actually have a meeting later this week to talk about, how that's going to look.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
I bet you are. I just released a song called "The Devil on My Shoulder," and I had so much fun making it.
Good name.
And then I had a video of it, and I really like the song. Not many people watch them for me that I can see that comment. I mean, obviously, you can see under the various places on the different forums like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, how many views you're getting. And many people comment, but I know it's being seen. And as long as they're still clicking on it, that means that something's going on.
Yeah, very few people comment. I almost never comment on
really? Yeah. Well, there are a few people that do. When they do, it feels so good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So where you plan to be? You're looking at a calendar that's a little bit further along, a little bit longer than mine. But let's say a 5 years, what do you foresee in the next 5 years that you're doing?
Just this on a bigger scale.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, my songwriting is probably going to be. I'll still be approaching it in a way that makes the most sense to me. It may not look the same. I might be collaborating more with people. And then as far as performing, same thing. I'll be doing it in a way that feels the most rewarding and gets it out with the biggest engine possible. I want to reach as many ears as possible.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely think you're going to meet that goal. I have a question though. I have songs that come into my head, probably based on the stuff I've been playing for the last 20 years. And sometimes they're like instantaneous, sort of 15 minutes. I write them. I don't know where it comes from. And then other songs seem to take like 100 million years.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about it. So that's funny that you should say that, because those two songs that I performed today are like the two examples of those. Because No Brighter Gold, I wrote that in minutes.
Yeah.
And Love Proof was like a painstaking construction.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. The song that I just put out, that one came to me instantaneously, and I was coming back from Chad's studio after recording, and I was on the highway a long way from Edgewood to Redmond.
Yeah.
And this song came to me, and I started. It was the whole chorus, and I kept repeating it over and over all the way home until I could get a piece of pencil on a paper.
Yeah.
And then it took several months after that. And then there was just one delay after another. First of all, the drummer I had wanted, they couldn't do it at the time I needed it done. Then it turned out I never did need it done at that time. Yeah. Then I was having problems getting a lead. Nobody wanted to sing it with me. It's a duet. And nobody wanted to do it. And finally found Drew Schneider. He had played a couple times with me out at a few gigs, and he said, "Well, yeah," and he's so busy, and he's got other things that he's got his fingers into. Rebel Canyon and casinos is one of them. He had to learn a lot of music. So it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And finally came out in January. Nope, February 14th. And that song goes all the way back until the first part of 2024, which had already been written and almost was ready to go. So it took that long to finally get it out there. So,
Yep.
and I didn't know what the holdup was, but maybe it was a good thing. But I picked Drew. I didn't care about the time at that point. It was already way past what I'd hoped to get it out. So when you do your songs, do you ever have moments like that where it just seems to take forever to get them out there?
Um, well, I feel very fortunate that I have a band with members in it that are willing to. They're just very game. They're so game. They want to be a part of this cool project, and we're all invested in it, and we try to get together on a regular basis and rehearse. And so while we're working on stuff that we already know, and we're tightening up the songs that we already perform, it's also a place where I can bring my new songs to them, and
Ah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of get them to a certain point of completion, and then I bring them into the band
Ah,
and let the synergy just kind of help them complete formation.
yeah.
And I've always worked that way. I've always kind of come with a nearly complete idea, and my collaborators have helped me to kind of you know be be midwives to the song.
I never had the guts. I
It's
usually,
very scary.
yeah,
It's
I can
very scary.
imagine.
Even in this is my band, my guys. I mean, I've gotten very close with these guys, and I trust them more than most people in the world. And I feel like I can be vulnerable in front of them, and it's still the scariest thing about being a musician. Scarier than going up in front of 1,000 people, or
I
anything
don't
like
know what
that.
that would be like, Joel. I can't even imagine that. I don't know if I'd enjoy it or be scared to death.
So I'm fueled by that. Like, the bigger the audience, the better.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I'll probably ever have that experience, but you never know. I mean, life's full of surprises. If
Yeah,
somebody would have told me during that COVID was going to come along and I'd start writing songs, I would have laughed in their face.
yeah,
Because life has a way of taking its own course sometimes. Even when we plan for it, it doesn't always go that way. Like
yeah,
today, no YouTube. Arr.
yeah.
So I only have about 8 minutes or less to go, and I'm wondering all the different places we know we can find you on YouTube. How do we just type Joel Astley? Will it come up if we type in that in search? Okay.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
follow.
you'll so when you search by my name, my website will probably come up. And if you go to my website, you can I don't really do a whole lot of posting and updating on it. I should probably do more, but there are links right there on my website to my social media accounts, my Facebook page, I
Okay.
mean my Facebook channel, and people can subscribe to the channel, which is always welcome and appreciated. And you can follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, Joel Astley, Joel Astley Music. And yeah, and if you want to listen to my music, you can find the debut album, Seattle to Greaseland, on all the streaming platforms. So the free ones, you can go to Spotify, YouTube, um, Apple Music. That's not free. Pandora. Um, yeah.
Do you do Reverb Nation?
Reverb Nation, I don't have a presence there. I don't
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
When I released this album, I signed to a label, and they had a wide distribution, which is why I got so much radio play and why it's still
Okay.
on the radio now. So yeah, thank you so much to Sally and Betsy and Deborah and all the crew at Blue Heart Records, which is now Mo Mojo. Blind Raccoon, thank you, Betsy. Yeah, and Lee Oscar, thank you. So yeah, that's how you find me. Just Google my name,
and find you, and we will. I'm going to find you today because I got to go put that. I'm going to have to upload this video onto YouTube. And although it's not live, it'll be there for people to watch today. For those people who couldn't tune in, I do see we have a few viewers at this point.
Awesome.
And I'm wondering, if it's possible that maybe there are more viewers, but we can't see them because they don't show up, sign or make a comment or something. I don't know, because I'm always surprised later on how many people were actually watching.
Oh.
You know. Anyway, and I know people tune in after they get home if they're interested in who's on. Some people just like doing it. So, maybe it was many times, but I asked you this last time. Since then, what's the best possible gig? What was the best point at this moment or moments when you felt, oh yeah, I did the right thing? This is where I should
feel that way all the time. It's very rare that I doubt,
yes.
that I question why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare that I ever consider like stopping doing this. I feel very sure. You know, that the old expression, follow your joy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, yeah, it's right about the time I try to quit and just walk away from it, I get pulled back. I don't know. I think nobody's out there. I was listening, and then I click on something that's, oh my gosh, I know I'm wrong. It's just one of those things. That, and still, it has a certain appeal. There's something about music that it's hard to put down once you start in. You find that too?
It's addictive.
Yeah. Well, it's my drug of choice, I'll tell you that.
Mine too.
So we have about 3 more minutes left. Have you ever, you've gotten, you have a lot of luck and a lot of talent. And I think they go hand in hand, but a lot of talented people just don't do as well as you do, Joel, have done. And, things have changed considerably. Record companies are kind of being phased out. Independent artists are out there and so forth. Yeah. Do you have any advice other than luck and how to make things happen for their viewers?
Yes, I do. I hope. I mean, if I could bottle it, I would. But it's a cocktail. It's a cocktail of, and not in any particular order. Just let me see. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm a really great guy or anything, but
yes,
I like to think
you are humble but great.
I like to think that I take really good care of my relationships, and I give everybody equal respect and time. And it's like that expression that you never know who you're talking to. You just never know who you're talking to. There's somebody that not just don't even give them the time of day, and then you find out later that they're the one that books that giant festival that you've been trying to get into for years. So there's relationships first and most important, I think. Then the other thing is to just pay attention, watch what other people are doing, right or wrong. You don't have to make every mistake to learn from it.
All right.
Watch.
Some of us do.
I mean, it's hard to pay attention to everything all at once. Yeah. It's like you're driving down the highway and there's all these signs and you're like, all I need to know is my exit. And so you like tunnel vision, and then you miss all
Yeah.
these other things that you might not pull off at every exit, but you might be back that way some other time. And then you'll have that map in your head. You'll know where stuff is for when you need it.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of like just remembering all of that stuff and just honoring it, being open to ideas. I see a lot of people like that instead of that. And it's just that simple. I mean, it's easier said than done. And
Yeah.
it's easier to stay positive. It's easier to say stay positive than to do it, right? Because it's so hard. You get knocked around, you get discouraged. You know, you feel like there's all these obstacles and and barriers, and it's hard to stay positive. And but like one of my favorite quotes is a Picasso quote. And he said, "I don't seek, I find."
Ah,
And it's a very important distinction, I think. And it's just a matter of, love the one you're with, like that song says. Just be grateful for what you have and where you are. And remember that this is the only story that you will ever be able to tell. And so it's best to say it. Say it now, and nobody else is going to say it.
I love it. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, we've run out of time, Joel, and I
All
do want to
right.
thank you for coming. And
Thanks
and
for having me.
if you know anybody and you can refer them to me that's starting out that would like to get on, do let me know. Um,
Okay.
I kind of not. I don't have much going on through the month of March. The first next week, I would tell everybody that next week I'm on with a man. His name is Rodney Dean Harrison. Harrison, yeah, and he has a Seattle City underground band. He's a punk rocker, and he's got some wild protest videos out there. I love them. And
Awesome.
he's been producing my videos for my songs. So I've been going back and getting them so I can use them for teaching my music. and and he's going to be on with me, and we're going to talk about the first 4 or 5 videos that he's done for me so far and how that song came to be. And then the other part of the program will be him talking about his production company and how he's available to make these for a cost that most people can afford. I know musicians don't have a lot of money, but it does good work for a reasonable amount of money. So do tune in next week on Monday at 2 o'clock. And once again, thank you so much, Joel. I'm going to be watching you because I know you're going to go where you want to and make it.
Thanks so much, Joy.
You're welcome.
And
Take
thanks,
care.
James, for tuning in.
Bye. Well, that's it, everybody. I'll see you next week. Do tune in. I'll be on. And a little young, not a young lady, but a friend of mine, Pam, will be hosting the show as a fan. I'm not a fan, but a listener. So she will be actually doing the interview of Rodney and myself. That's next Monday, March, and next Monday in March. I cannot remember, but I think it's the 3rd, March 3rd. So do tune in, 2 p.m. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your week.